Greetings, everybody. My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everyone back again for another week of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals gather around to go and talk about things that have been going down within the past week. Of course, Pokemon-related stuff. Given that Pokemon Day just happened not too long ago, there is a couple of things we're going to be discussing for this night. So I hope you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. Yes, Dill, thank you so much. Please advise yourselves in regards to washing your goddamn hands every single 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know how long. I don't know what jobs you do. I don't know what school things you do. But always make sure when you get the opportunity to wash them hands. Apparently, that's the cure, or not really the cure, but it's something, yeah, I guess. So keep that in mind for the future. All right, then. Now, let me go and hop into the call real quick. I'm going to check with the crew, and then we're going to go and work from there. Alrighty? Sweet. Let's get to it. Let's hope that... Oh, no. We're back at it again, boys. We did it.
Back at it again, a Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, we're paint in the sun. Okay, good. You know what I feared? Because I saw your thing turn green. I was fearing that I was going to have to reset the audio thing again on Discord. But it doesn't seem like I have to, so we're good.
I mean, you can still do it anyways.
I mean, yeah, but why do I want to? I don't want to do that. No, thank you. How you guys doing, though? Everybody all good tonight?
Some things to talk about because, you know, there's a lot of bullshit things happening in the world and...
Yeah, I know. But don't worry, we're going to make sure we kind of not talk about certain things, only for the fact that we want to make sure everybody can at least come out positive, you know. We want to brighten everybody's day up, don't we not? So...
Of course.
Yeah, with that said, though, we're going to be talking about things that I feel like might disappoint some people. Maybe, given leaks and stuff that's been going around. Like Pikachu actually evolving into Raichu. That's the big shocker right there. We'll talk about that soon enough.
Or how about Wendy's airing a commercial where it has the Egg McMuffin on a tombstone?
I did not see that. What? I need to see the commercial for this. Hold on a second. Where is this? What is this commercial, man? But yeah, so I am surprised we legit, by the way, got anime leaks of all goddamn things. I never thought I'd get to see the day when there would be legit anime leaks for the Pokemon anime. That to me is so bizarre. I don't know why, but it just simply is to me. But, you know, aside from that, though, how's everything else been for you guys? You know,
It's Photoshop, though, right? Or is that actually the real deal?
I don't know. Everything's coming out Photoshop. There's the whole reboot thing that happened, and then not too long after that, we had
the reboot. Well, the
Gengar
reboot
leak.
thing is on freaking Nico, so it's got to be legit.
And then there was the Gengar bit, which we finally got confirmation. Yeah, that shit was a photo job edit. So that's something there. But yeah, the reboot thing, we're going to probably discuss about that when we get into our anime review. I think we might have a part 2 to the discussion because I want to kind of handle things a little bit differently this time around, and I kind of want to hear the feedback from the community in the chat as well in regards to this because I've been noticing it might be a little too complicated to kind of go for a full hour on the full episode in itself, you know, because specifically for this one, because I feel like it was a very basic one. I'll get to it soon when we get to the review. But I want to make a part 1 and part 2 discussion, where part 2 is going to be a question, a very popular question that I see within the community, maybe in the chat. If you guys got any questions, and the one that pops up the most, we might respond to that. We'll do a part 2 to that discussion, you know. So that we will have one half be the review and then another half be the anti-poke talk. I want to try and mix things up a little bit, just see how things work, and then if it doesn't, we'll go back to our regular format, and if it does, we'll go and, continue to try new things. You know, that's what I want to do. It's always good to experiment during these times, because, well, why not, right? And also, my dog seemed to be barking for some reason. I don't really know what's going on there. So, woofs to the boys as well. Jordan won the best. Thank you so much for subscribing.
It's trying to fend away Corona-chan.
Corona-chan? There's a waifu for it?
Apparently so.
Yeah, it happened early last month. There was a video posted, but then it was taken down, but somebody else reposted it.
Oh, speaking about that, have you guys heard the coronavirus song?
I have not.
You have not heard the coronavirus song? They made a whole TikTok challenge out of that shit. I
Well,
need to send you guys.
but it will not beat this.
Which one? Oh God! No, it's not coronavirus. It's coronavirus. Chan loves you.
The coronavirus.
What is this? Oh God! Oh, I'm not even gonna bother clicking on that right now. I'll probably check it out later, though, for sure. Also, just to kind of clarify, guys, the Corona beer does not have anything to do with the coronavirus, okay? I am legitimately seeing people confirm that they do not drink the Corona beer because they fear they might get the coronavirus out of it. Apparently, according to a poll, 38% of Americans have that mentality via the
And
voting.
that's why there is a man who doesn't know how to freaking tan his face around. But anyway,
Good God. But go on, Evie.
yes.
You had something you wanted to say, Evie?
No.
Okay, but I do have something to
You're
ask you because somebody brought up a question that I believe you can answer because you were probably the only one here who might have went to have seen that movie. So someone asked here, Johnny's Your Boy 100 says, in regards to, what about the My Hero movie? Now, Tyrone's not here
okay.
yet, so let's take this opportunity to actually get that review out of the way before he actually pops into the call.
All right. Well, I suppose I can give my impressions on the movie now.
All right, just to clarify, everybody, spoilers ahead, maybe not. We're not sure, so just keep that in mind. If you haven't seen the movie yet, just letting you know.
Well, since I'm the only one that has seen it out of the entire group, I'm going to make this as spoiler free as possible. So
I don't really care about it. It's all good, man. See, the people in the chat don't seem to care as well, so you can go right ahead, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like High Prof doesn't care about being spoiled. So, all right, man. So spoilers array. They could die.
Oh what?
No, that was fake, by the way. But but anyways, My Hero Academia, he was right. So, compared to the first movie, I've got to say that they're both just as great. However, I will say that this particular film, is slightly my favorite only because of something that because of something that they were able to fix that was one of the few flaws back in the first My Hero Academia movie, and that's the entire cast. The entire cast was finally showcased in this movie. They all played a vital roles in it. So I feel like everyone got a really good amount of screen time. Everyone also had a big role in the movie. So, and that's what defines My Hero Academia. I know people tend to centralize My Hero Academia around characters like Midoriya, Bakugo, etc. But it's this entire cast that brings this series alive. And if anything, this is why I'm a huge fan of My Hero Academia, because you don't really see such a huge support for these side characters. When it comes to shonen anime. So just as we're talking about like 20 characters in Class 1A, and all of these characters played a huge role in this particular film. So that's one of the few things that really gave me a huge thumbs up for me on this particular film compared to the first film. Now, of course, the fights and the animation, it's My Hero Academia, especially when you come into the cinematic world of things, it gets really, really damn good. So that did not disappoint me whatsoever. And really, this film is centralized around Deku's and Bakugo's developments as heroes. So basically, this movie takes place in an island where on Class 1A was part of an internship where they were sent into this small island with a population of about 1,000. And basically, they were sent there to, well, play as heroes. And mind you, this island is known to not have like too many villains. And really, if there's anything going on, it's just very minor problems. So basically, so Class 1A was sent there just so they could be the heroes of this particular island. But of course, man, it's kind of hard to not get it's kind of hard to not talk about some of the details because it really ties into the entire plot behind this movie. But
And I'm assuming that a lot of the plot also ties into like the manga side and not the anime side, correct?
right.
Okay, I expected that.
Yeah. Oh, and a fun little fact actually. Apparently, this arc that the movie, well, this the arc that the movie showcases, originally that was supposed to be the original ending for My Hero Academia, but of course, you know how that turned out, and the series is still going on. So I just thought it would be fun to let you guys know that you know this was supposed to be the original ending.
Yes.
Yes. Now there are some drawbacks. Like the first movie, there are some drawbacks. Nothing too major, in my opinion. Honestly, I didn't really get bothered by it too much. If there's anything that does kind of bother me compared to the first film, is that they do bring back flashbacks and basically like do a little review as to in terms of the events that have occurred in the My Hero Academia anime. And me and
Yeah.
Tyrone talked about this. We both agreed that you know it really isn't that necessary. Now I can understand that there are some new viewers, but at the same time, if you're coming into this movie, why bother bringing back these flashbacks and give your audience a refresher in terms of what really happened in the anime. I feel like that is really necessary. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, you should know what should have already happened in the anime. So I just thought that was a bit of a waste of screen time.
Let me just interject there for a second, Evie.
Go ahead.
I think the reason why to do that is, remember, Japan has a different philosophy when it comes to reminding about it, because remember, here anime movies are kind of a niche when where in Japan it's more of mainstream. So I can understand why they went that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it too. Like trust me, I completely understand that, and especially with like especially if there's been new fans of My Hero Academia recently, like I will understand why they would want to review, the past events for some of the audiences. But I don't know. I just feel I can understand why they would do it, like you mentioned, but it's I identify it as a downside for me, in my opinion. Another downside that I do have with this movie is that you will have the League of Villains make an appearance in this movie, but they play no significant role in this movie whatsoever. So I felt like they were well, I'll just say this, I will say they did do set up the main plot of this movie, but that's pretty much it. That's all they do. So as I mentioned before, nothing really significant with the League of Villains in this film, so don't expect much from them. Um, and I know coming into this movie, I've heard some people telling me that this movie does take place sometime after this current season. I believe we're in season 4 of My Hero Academia. So for those people who have been following the manga, they're probably already aware of what's going to happen. But for the anime watchers, they might not have any idea as to what occurred since then. And there are some minor changes that weren't featured in the anime. But in my honest opinion, they weren't really too, major. There weren't anything too big to point out. Like you're not really missing out on much. So I'd say if you're worried about, where this movie takes place, yeah, like given the events of when this movie takes place, like yeah, you're gonna notice some difference, but it's not like you're not really missing out on much. So other than that, Heroes Rising, just like the first movie, as I mentioned before, is just as great. Really great movie. And if you're looking for redemption for the life good characters from the first movie, definitely give this movie a watch. They really they really bring the audiences justice and providing the entire cast of characters and providing a very vital role for each of these characters. And they do place a good amount of screen time on Midoriya and Bakugo, since it also emphasizes on their relationships as well and the development as heroes. So, and again, with some of the flaws this movie carried, I'd have to give this movie about an 8.5 out of 10. So if you're a fan of My Hero Academia, of course, give this movie a watch. It is basically an hour 45 worth of My Hero Academia content. So that's all I had to say about this movie.
Huh, interesting. All right. Well, I know for a while I'm probably not going to go and give this movie a shot. I'm going to probably wait until certain parts in the anime, occur first. And then, I'll probably do the Tyrone round, basically, where I'll hop into it when it's the right moment. You know what I mean? Because as you mentioned, there are elements in this film that even take stuff that was meant for the final arc, for the final battle, and implemented here to the film. So it's like, this is end game content. You don't want to just suddenly go into like the end game stuff and then have to revert back to before that happens, because I'm assuming very heavy things happen in that film that will carry the series moving forward. But in order for me to accept that, I need to watch it in the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel. But look, like I said, this was originally supposed to be the ending. I'm not saying it is the ending, but this was the original plan for the author of my.
Yeah, and he's like, well, since they used it for the film, I'm just gonna have to create something even better. Now, out of curiosity, would you have accepted this as a finale had this been the finale, or do you think that this was a great way to use it here, and that way we can expect something better? Like just out of curiosity.
See, I don't really know. Honestly, it's a mix of yes and no, because I can understand why the author of My Hero Academia will want to make this as the final arc, because this ties in with the spoilers, so I can't say anything about it. But there's a particular moment within the last battle where you will understand why the author will want to the final arc.
Yeah. Because they actually spoiled it in the trailers, so I think I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, so, if you guys saw the trailer, you kind of get the idea of what happens there. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, as an anime-only watcher of My Hero Academia, I can't really accept this as an ending. If this was an ending, because you don't really know how much development each characters have gone through,
Yeah.
So it just kind of left you in the shadows.
Interesting.
So it's a mix of yes and no.
Alrighty, I get it then. Well, it's gonna be something. Okay, I guess the final thing before we move on. What would you rate this film from a 1 to 10?
He already did.
No, just to reiterate, I guess. Reiterate.
8.5 out of 10.
Alrighty, so there you go, folks. If you haven't got a chance to see the film yet, Evie here has given a pretty solid recommendation. I would assume a high yes here with an 8.5 score, even mentioning that it surpasses the first film. So I assume that must mean something, especially given how popular the first film was anyway. Especially with that showdown in the finale on that fight, man. Who wouldn't love that? How could they top something like that? Well, it seems like it might have been pulled off here in this film. Of course, keep in mind, though, with that said, that it is something that you must consider, with all the manga stuff happening. If you are an anime-only viewer, it's going to be weird to kind of jump into the future and then have to go back to the present, so...
I'd say it's just minor stuff, if anything. Because for those of you who have been keeping up with the manga, you come to soon find out that, some of the hero costumes have got it tuned up with these new equipment and armor and whatnot. You're going to see that in the film. But other than that, I'd say that's the only that's the only minor thing that you'll see that you've never seen in the anime. That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah. Now, all right. Well, thank you so much, Evie, for giving us your thoughts on the movie review. I'm very interested to finally give it a shot sometime in the future, and hopefully it'll be as good as as I would hope. And I mean, Evie, you have given me so many wonderful recommendations throughout the years, anyway. So already I can expect great things, and especially given that this is a My Hero series, film. I mean, what's not to expect other than greatness, correct? So.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're a My Hero Academia fan, I definitely give this a watch.
Yeah. Now, with that, as we're talking about anime stuff and whatnot, and also waiting for our pal Tyrone to probably hop into this, I do want to also follow up from the anime side of things with a little bit of manga. Given a tweet
Okay.
I talked about not too long ago, how I stayed up till like 2 to 3 a.m. in the goddamn morning reading this series. Now, I also
Hey,
want
man,
to
you're doing your Nelly sermon.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
I'm
gonna
already
I'm
so
gonna
mad.
give you guys. It's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen, but today we're finally gonna be doing another one of those KG's really random recommendations, folks, because I have two in particular actually. One is the one that Evie here has actually recommended me to give a read through a while back in one of our Anipods that we haven't done in a while. I apologize, folks. It's just been pretty busy. Everybody's got their own things, to do and whatnot. So I hope you guys are okay with that. But don't worry, we'll make sure when Snafu comes, we're going to be watching that shit daily, all right? So we'll be there. All right, so let me go and tackle upon Evie's real quick because I want to follow up on
Yes.
it. So, Evie, what was the name of the manga that you had recommended me? If you could remember
Dad,
the full name of it.
I do. So, Dad, my friend, and for those of you who are looking for a good anime to read,
Manga.
the anime that yeah, did I say
Yeah, you
manga or
said
Yeah,
anime?
anime.
you said anime to read. Yeah.
Well,
It can
listen,
be.
man, I would love for this to be an anime, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, only one can help, right?
Yeah,
So,
right?
yes, that's the only yours mentioned. It is Komi Can't Communicate. And I did tell you, Kevin, to give it a read when you get the chance, right? Given that you read like the basic premise of this manga, where you have this Komi who happens to have social anxiety, who her goal is to make 100 friends, despite her not really, despite her being anxious about talking with other people, right? So so some time has passed. I think almost a month now since I'm recommending you that manga, but yes, anyways, I am very interested to hear about your opinion regarding this manga. So, what did you think of it based off of what you read so far?
Okay, so I just want you to know I so far only read up to chapter 6. And the reason why I did that in particular was
What's the number?
because chapter 6.
Okay.
Because chapter 6 to me was such a good way to kind of like end our like part 1, I guess you could say, of the story. I don't know what chapter
Gotcha.
7 and the others have, but okay, let me just once again, I'm just going to mention I only got up to 6 chapters. So, from what I read to the very end, it was in regards to setting up the plot for Komi regarding about having 100 friends. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things that I'm really loving from this manga. For
Okay.
starters, her face. Holy shit. Like, I don't know what they do to her face, but when she's like so in the back, like she just gets like these big cat eyes or something and just has like no mouth, nothing, just these big beady eyes, and it's so hilarious every time I see it. It's so great. I don't know what it is about the arts. Go on.
That's what makes Komi appealing to me, though. I think that's what appeals to a lot of fans who are reading this.
Yes, because
It's just this face change, yeah.
you see from up front when she's in the main center of it, she has this very serious, stern looking face on her. She doesn't really show a lot of emotions, and they explain in the 6 chapters as to why this is the case. And the thing that makes it so special is that, like, as I mentioned, they do this because it works with her character. She acts this way because this is how she is. She mentions that, she can't greet people. She can't communicate with people. She tries to, but people either faint or just really, she just has a hard time to do it.
She's a god,
Yeah.
for fuck's sakes.
she can't express happiness. She can't gratitude. She can't talk about things. She can't even, like, it's so painful to see what she had to go through. And the thing that hurts the most is how she had to explain everything, because she
Right.
didn't actually communicate via vocal, speaking. The way they handled it was that they used the chalkboard and chalk to write conversations down. And to me, that is what is so fascinating about her character, to where she just has such a difficult time to speak. Not because she has any faults or anything, it's just more so, or I should say any sickness or anything, it's just that she simply can't. And when you get to like the 6th chapter, I feel so bad, man. It was because like she mentions like at the end, she's like, please, after everything I just wrote, sorry for taking your time on these mundane topics. Please forget everything you saw here, and we'll end it there. Goodbye. And then this is to what really sealed the deal for me, man. It was when Tadano-san came and wrote a response on the chalkboard. And then they communicated via that the whole way through. That was so touching. I love that bit in the story. And it hurts so much that I only got to chapter 6, man. Because it's like, I did this specifically to make sure that I only talk about these 6 chapters right now. Because, like, this is something that I feel like I should, do, bit by bit. Because if I try to binge through this whole thing, I feel like, I'm going to be stuck with this for a long time. There's like 200 plus chapters, goddammit. It's like, it's too much, So I'm going to take it a bit at a time, but I will say I really love this. The 6 chapters alone, it caught my attention. If I go to Kinokuniya bookstore and I see these available right there, I'm gonna pick up the volumes, even if I haven't read all the other chapters yet. I like
That's
these
my
6,
boy.
These 6 chapters were so good, man. It's such a sweet and yet relatable story, and I think that's what captured the series for me. It's how relatable a lot of the things that they bring up in this story are. For people who have issues with communicating, not because they have sickness or anything. It's more like they just can't. It's very complicated to speak about this. It really is because
PokePod Crystal.
Yeah, hey, welcome, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. We're just talking about a manga right here that Evie recommended me a while back. But welcome, Tyrone. I'm glad to see you're here, buddy.
What's up? I got some things.
Alrighty.
I brought intel.
Okay. So
I didn't come empty-handed.
No, thanks, buddy. I'll take some of that.
All right.
Well, you've read through 6 chapters. Just let you know, volume 1, you've only gone through like 50 out of 185 pages.
Damn.
No,
I don't even know what he's reading. That's
okay. It's basically Kami-san can't communicate, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
was a lot of C's in that sentence.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, as I mentioned before, it's very difficult to really explain the premise, honestly.
You're right.
Not because of like, okay, how do I say it? It's you have to be in her shoes to fully understand what she's going through. Because
exactly.
She's just bad at communicating. She just has struggles, man. It's not. It's really not difficult. Yeah, you're right. It's not really difficult, but it's just more like. I guess I think the best way to say it is more just so relatable. As somebody who has a hard time just trying to speak with, because like for me, when trying to communicate with people I don't really know, one of the hardest things that I have issues with is simply trying to start a conversation or simply make a conversation last longer.
Yeah.
And this is something that she seems to be struggling with. But the thing is, she can't even get at the beginning because anytime she tries to, she freezes, she's incapable, and she's just simply bad at communicating. And she just wants to make friends.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's also, even if you do start a conversation, because mind you, she that's her form of communication, communicating. She has to write out her own thoughts, right? It's one thing for you to start a conversation, but what you want to talk about, which is why when you read the 6th chapter, KG, I believe she was having trouble coming up with a topic. Yeah,
because like she didn't really like. I think something about the petals were falling out the tree or something like that. They tried to have a conversation like that in one of the chapters. And I was like, oh, I can totally see where this is going. And it went there. Because like even Todana-san was like, what the hell do I say here now? I don't know what to say.
I don't know why my brother's calling me during the fucking podcast. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so to quickly end it off here, because it's literally just 6 chapters. The sixth chapter, though, I want to say I almost teared up until I got to the final page.
Oh yeah.
Like this shit play, like you know that meme, it's like, well, it's like they had us in the first half, I'm not gonna lie, that shit
Yeah.
was like that for me with chapter 6. It had me in the first half. So
yeah, because it has its touchy moments, but at the end of the day, it's gotta remind you about what the premise of this manga is. It's not just touching, but at the same time, it draws attention into Komi's character. So, yeah, that last page.
Yeah, that was just. I love it. Just playing with our feels, man. You're just simply playing with our feelings. All right, so Evie, once again, thank you so much for that recommendation. I love the first 6 chapters, man. Everything was so good, and I can't wait to just binge through all the others that when I possibly can get the chance. Now,
all right,
that's simply part 1. Of course, this is the one that you've recommended me, and I really wanted to do a follow-up on it. And I'm very grateful I had the opportunity to do it here. Now, I want to give my recommendation, because I was talking with you guys in the chat beforehand, before we started this discussion and all that here in the pod, that there was a particular moment where I was looking for, as how the internet calls it, copper. Trying to find what really random anime / manga I would go through, and then in my selection here, I clicked the random button, and I was given this one particular series that I don't think has an English title for it. Because I'm looking everywhere to see if there's maybe like an official English name for it, but the only name I've seen so far that pop up is simply the Japanese name. I think people have created their own like name for it in the English version, but there's like no official canonical English name for it, from what I recall. So the name of this manga, if I hope I don't pronounce this badly, is
paste it, and I'll say it.
All right, give me a second. I'll paste it right now.
But while that's happening, Tyrone, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Good.
All right, sorry about that. I decided to go and grab the name right there. So let me try to pronounce it before I give it to you, TSS, because I want to see if I at least can get it and maybe not get you pissed off in some way, shape, or form. All right? Yeah, silence. I know, silence. Isn't that the best kind of humor right there, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so the name
do you have the Japanese for it?
Yes, I do actually. Let me go.
Yeah, please paste that, because I have a feeling that second word is probably a loan word.
I feel it is, because it's like it's okay. Here we go. Anyway, so the name of it that I'm gonna say from the English one anyway. Sono biske dal wakoi wo suru is what
That's kind of like putting English words in there, because that's not what the original title reads.
I saw another one here that says Sono kisekai ningyo
yeah, because what you're seeing there is that there's some people like they're doing the weird shit. So it is so the title is Sono kisekairu ningen wa koi o suru.
Yes. Now, the reason why I brought this up, I wish I can like.
What? No, I'm sorry. I gotta say it again because the dictionary gave me the actual transitive verb. It's sono kisekai ningen wa koi o suru.
Yeah, it's a name that I don't know how I could say in English, because I don't think there's an actual English name for it, aside from like, I think it was like my doll wife or something like that, which doesn't make any sense, because there's nothing of that sort in the actual manga if you read it.
That first part, sono kisekai. Kisekairu is to change clothes.
Yeah.
So let's see, the changing. Let's see. So basically it's like koyo suru. So it's like loving. I love to change the clothes in my doll.
Yes, something of that sort. And it is
Time to
kind of
I'd love
similar to what's going
change the
on
clothes to the
in the
doll. Yeah.
story. All right, so let me give you a brief summary from what I'm reading here in the description, and then I'll go and break it down for a bit. So, the description is in regards to the main male character, Wakana Gojo, who is a 15-year-old high school boy who was socially traumatized in the past due to his passions being of crafting the dolls that we just talked about with the name of the title. He loves to craft dolls and make, dresses for them. Now, the thing is, that incident left a mark on him that made him into a social recluse. Now, until one day he had an encounter with a girl named Kitagawa, who is a sociable Gyaru and who is the complete opposite of him. They soon share their passions with one another, which leads to their odd relationship. Now, that particular passion that the female character, Kitagawa, is going through is actually in regards to cosplaying. So, she loves to cosplay. In fact, she wants to, kind of create her own design and, craft her own, outfits to use in conventions and whatnot. So, in the first few chapters, they kind of try to go and, show off that she's capable of doing cosplay. But the thing is, Wakana, the main male character, given his experience with crafting the dolls and the dresses and whatnot, notices a lot of the flaws that Kitagawa is going through. And this is where these two end up starting to become buddy-buddy, with one another. And what makes this story so great is that, as I mentioned with the description for this manga, Kitagawa, she loves to communicate, she loves to talk, she loves to be social, and whatnot. Whereas Wakana simply can't. He has struggles just even trying to meet eye to eye because, for the female girl, she's super popular. You see her design, she's loved by everybody. Everyone, just adores her. Whereas with Wakana, he's more like the kind of like that background character that you sort of neglect and leave him alone in the side. And
Okay, Kev, KG. Before we continue, actually, I have a translated title because actually I realized that that whole thing there where after Sono the Kisekai Ningyo, that means a dress up doll, and Koyo Suru is to fall in love. So I fell in love with this dress up doll.
yeah, something like that.
That's exactly what this is. I fell in love with this dress up doll. That should be the name of the series.
And
that's
a very Japan situation you're in right now.
Yeah, but the thing that makes this story so good, man, is just the characters are so great. I love them. There is a moment, I don't want to spoil it. I really, really recommend people to please give this a shot. Really go out of your way to go and watch it. Or read it. I really think you'll love it. There is a moment in one of the earlier chapters where after they communicate talking about the various outfits that he's going to create for her, he ends up realizing that he has a deadline of 2 weeks to create the cosplay for the convention that's going to be happening within 2 weeks. So he gets that in mind and realizes that he has very little time. Unfortunately, what happens soon after is that, his grandfather ends up going through a situation where he ends up getting hospitalized for a bit during the time that he's supposed to be crafting the cosplay outfit. So as that's going on, there is something else also happening as well to the point that this guy had to go through so much, man. And it is something that you can easily relate. I want you guys to realize this. Like how it feels to be so overwhelmed and keeping all of it to yourself. Do you guys understand what I'm referring to when I say that? The situation of where everything's happening all at once and in such little time to where it's just suddenly it's just overflowing you. And the worst part is you're not telling this to nobody. You're keeping it tight to yourself and you're just holding it in, man. You're just not going to say anything. And then that was like, oh my god, I can understand what's like. He's going through so much stress in these like 2 weeks, and then in the following chapter, the man breaks. He literally tears up and starts crying because he doesn't know what to do. Like literally, they're like in the final day. Nothing was done. One day left before the convention, and he gets through some flashback and realizes what's going on to where he's like, okay, you know what? Instead of moping around, he's going to end up staying up all night and create the cosplay all in one night and manages to successfully complete the cosplay. And it's so amazing, just the struggle he had to go through to get to that point, and like the resolve that he had. It's something I really appreciated from this story. And like, my respect to the main male character shot up like 100% when I finally got to that moment in the chapter. I felt bad for the guy, but dude, massive respect for him for pulling it through, staying up all night to create the cosplay for the girl because he made a promise to her. And despite everything that's been happening around him and all the struggles he had to go through and all the stress of his family being hospitalized, and well, specifically his grandfather, and and whatnot, to be able to kind of pull that off is, to me, something I admire a lot, from any person really, to kind of just go through so much and still come out on top.
Sounds like this mangaka probably followed like Danny Chu's Smart Dolls and decided, oh, I can make a manga out of that.
And to me it worked. I'm honestly very terrible with kind of explaining these kind of things, but that's also because I'm trying my best to kind of keep things a little hidden. I really want people to kind of go into it a little blind, but really it's a very fascinating story. It's very adorable, it's cutesy, it's unfortunately as well, if you might not be a big fan of this, it does have some elements of fan service. It's not gonna like straight up reveal anything or whatnot, but given that it is cosplay, females cosplay to be exact, you're gonna be seeing a lot of changing going on.
So, I'm already reading the first chapter. No.
So yeah, she's changing outfits, so you're gonna be seeing her undress at some points. Now, if you're not into that sort of thing, it might kind of throw you off, but just understand that's just part of literally cosplaying. You're gonna have to undress to dress into something, you know what I mean? And they use that for the storyline, so there is moments, where that happens. If you're not a big fan of it, I can understand, but everything else, though, personally, to me, is so great. I love the character dynamics. I love their conversations. I love how they create a storyline that's just like Komi-san is very relatable to many people in regards to the struggles of communications and being rejected by society for something that you enjoy but everybody else views as something alien-ish. It's like, oh look, I love crafting these dolls, I love crafting these things that I see here, and then when society's like, hey, I don't like that, and to be traumatized at such a young age, imagine the pain this man had to go through for all those years to love what he loves to do, not hurting anyone in the process, mind the way, and yet still in a way be rejected by people. That's what this man had to go through. And when you get to, like, I recommend, if you're gonna read this manga, just saying, read until chapter 14. I know that's weird to go all the way to chapter 14, but that really, to me, is like the end point for like the first arc. Because that's where everything kind of goes all full circle. And I think chapter 14 is where the real story kind of begins. The first 14 chapters do an amazing job setting everything up, setting the setting, the location, the characters, the plot, the flashbacks. Everything plays very well within those 14 chapters, and the finale of chapter 14 is so cute, man. To me, it's always so weird when I see a lot of manga or anime that has a lot of gyaru girls, I guess you could say, gals. That always end up having like this, what's the best word for him? Like negative appearance to them because they always be treated like jerks in a lot of series out there, or they end up being too ecchi. So I do like how this one is not really trying to. It has elements of it, but it's not like she's doing it because she wants to. It's because she has to change into the outfits that she wants to wear. So understand that when you're going into this, if you're not into ecchi stuff, if you're not into lewd stuff like seeing her unzip her shirt and seeing bras or swimming suits or whatnot, it might throw you off. But everything else, though, personally, to me, is great. I love it. Chapter 8 and 9 really got to me very hard because to go through so much pressure and carry it all on your own, not even communicating with nobody, when you can. That's the thing. He could have communicated with anybody, but he decided to keep it to himself. It's stuff like that I think a lot of people might find some similarities towards the character if they have struggles that this man had to go through. You might find a good read out of it. So far, this is what hurts to me the most. There are only 36 chapters out there. I was kind of hoping that it would be similar to like Komi-san, where there's like 200 chapters that I could binge through the whole day. But no, there's only 36 chapters, unfortunately. But I'm just going to say right now, all 36 chapters are beautiful. Love each and every single chapter. Highly, highly recommended. I really do believe people might get a good kick out of it. So I don't really want to say much on it. I really want people to kind of go into it completely blind, and from there, maybe get a good kick out of it, or maybe not. Curious to hear your thoughts about it if you guys give it a chance, and then maybe reply to us on Twitter, social media, however you want to do it, and we'll go from there. So that's just all I got to say on that. So that's my really random recommendation. I don't know how many reiterations of the English titles you guys have came up with in the chat. I'm assuming it's the full one is I Fell in Love with That Dress Up Doll. I assume is the one you're...
Yes.
It's that one or the Japanese
that is
one?
That. Yeah, but that's what my translation is. The localized title might be different.
Yeah, I don't know what the localized title is. I would love for this to be localized, though. This to me deserves a localization. I assume it didn't receive it yet because there's only 36 chapters out right now. But I really would love to see this get localized. Maybe get an anime too at some point. I did see somebody in the chat bring this up. My girlfriend is a gal. Okay, I hate the anime adaptation of that. It is so painfully bad. It reminds me a lot of that stupid Masamune-kun's Revenge, whatever that shit was called. That level of pissing off, man. That shit had me fuming. And that to me, personally, was like the one anime that really did a bad job at showcasing gals in, anime format, honestly. And I think it put a bad reputation on gals. I really want to say, this gal here, this female MC that we have in this manga that I recommended, Kitagawa, dude, she's precious. Protect, please, at all costs. Her and her friends that she makes along the way, protect them. I'm just saying, I love them so much. So please, give it a read. Let us know what you think about it soon in the future. And hopefully we get back from you guys, whether it be on social media, whether it be on, Discords and whatnot. Let us know. And hopefully... I see more positive reception than negative. Fingers crossed, man. All right, so now before we continue on, I know my buddy here, Tyrone, said he had something he wanted to talk about a little while back. So
it's gonna pale in comparison to that large manga description.
No, don't worry about it, man. We were just simply talking about this as we were waiting for you to get back anyway.
I even get my thoughts on Academia movie.
Yeah, we did that specifically before you got here because we didn't want you to spoil it.
Real fast, I had the opportunity to watch the My Hero Academia movie. The problem is that I don't read the manga. My only experience with My Hero Academia is anime. So I don't want to watch a movie that's like 3 seasons ahead of where we're at. Just doesn't sit right with me. I'll get spoiled unintentionally because anime movies often will take place in the time in which a certain event happened. So all the characters, this is so the characters can utilize all their resources that they have on hand at that time. Like, for example, in the first movie, Deku didn't use shoot style because it was before Deku invented shoot style. So it would be kind of weird if I see him start using manga powers when I'm like, whoa, hold up. What are these? So, and don't get me wrong, I always support anime movies. I have ranted about this several times. Support anime movies in theaters. Support them, so that they can get the same love and treatment, or at least close to the same love and treatment that these blockbusters movies get every opening night and every weekend. Like they need that same type of love. The problem is you can't make your movie 2 seasons ahead of where we're at currently and expect me to watch it and then just go, yeah, I'm going to forget everything I just saw for the sake of getting surprised again when I see it during its anime debut. Yeah. Now, I will support the movie by buying the official DVD/Blu-ray release. I feel like that's a fair trade because I am purchasing the movie to own, so that I can watch it anytime I want, just like I did with Two Heroes.
Yeah.
Also, I think the titles are weird. This one's called Hero Rising, but it's Deku and Bakugo, which they're 2 heroes, where the other one was Deku fighting alongside All Might, which means he's rising to become a hero. So this one should be called Hero Rising, and the other one should be called whatever. Anyway,
I accidentally forgot.
I think they just slipped up and forgot because I don't know. But anyway, this weekend was interesting for me. I didn't know it until I actually looked it up. Pokemon Championships Regionals was taking place in Collinsville, Illinois. Now, I live in St. Louis, Missouri, which means Collinsville, Illinois is only about 30 minutes away from me if I drive. Mm-hmm. So, after work, I decided to go to Collinsville, Illinois. And I was like, yeah, I had a lot of fun in Washington, D.C. when we went to Pokemon Worlds. That was a big event. It was really fun. We had a blast. I was prepared to pay the registration fee needed to be a spectator at the event. Obviously, the event was starting the weekend of, so there was no way I could sign up for the tournament itself.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
But I can be a spectator if I pay, an amount of money. Weird thing is, when we went to Worlds in Washington, D.C., it cost about $20 to be a spectator, And Collinsville, Illinois, to be a spectator in regionals was free. It cost nothing. I was able to just go. And I met some YouTubers. I met Wolf Glick. He's a very famous Pokemon battling trainer.
Yeah, for the V. Isn't he the one that showed up that stupid, ridiculous Dynamax removal video?
Yeah, he's the one that made the eject button Dynamax.
I'd be rolling when I saw it.
That is him, Wolf Glick himself. He is the 2016 International Pokemon Champion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also met a friend, Moxie Boost. I think him and I are going to start trying to collaborate more. So he may or may not. I'm not putting this as a permanent. I'm just saying it for you guys to think about. He may or may not join us on occasion as a guest so that we can dip our toe into the world of competitive Pokemon just for a little bit. Because I feel like the PokePod, we do a good job of dabbling in all things Pokemon. We tackled card games. We've talked about the manga. We talked about the anime. We talked about movies. We've tackled pretty much every field except for the VGC.
Yeah.
So so I feel like that'll be a good chance. Plus, I want to see KG's dumb luck get him way further than he needs to go in VGCs. Because knowing this boy, he'll wind up being the 2021 International Pokemon League champion because all of his moves were critical hits and all of his opponents missed.
Oh my God! Was it Richie that showed us that stupid critical hit bullshit?
Yeah, that'll be you. So I had a lot of fun. I played a lot of the console games that they had. They had a lot of console games, including Pokemon Stadium 2. They had a lot of Pokemon Tournament. They had a lot of Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness, Stadium 1 and 2. Puzzle League, those were fun. Basically the same as when we were in Washington. I entered a couple of side tournaments. I was in one tournament where I placed 2 wins, 2 losses. Another tournament I was in was 2 wins, 1 loss. So I won 2 times, lost 1 time. I think I did pretty good. I think my team did a lot better than I thought it would. I wound up in a situation I thought was pretty funny if you played enough VGCs. So Choice Band is an item where your attacks do way more damage, but you're locked into that one attack. You can't use any of your other 3 attacks. Mm-hmm. A Darmanitan was using Flare Blitz on one of my Pokemon. and knocked out one of my Pokemon. But my other Pokemon was Chandelure. Now, Chandelure has an ability known as Flash Fire. This means that fire attacks won't work on Chandelure, and if anything, they'll make his fire attack stronger if he's hit by a fire-type move. So when he used Flare Blitz, he was stuck into the Flare Blitz because it was Choice Banded Darmanitan. That means he could only use one move, and it was the Flare Blitz. My Chandelure was still out on the field, which means that was his last Pokemon too, which means he was stuck using Flare Blitz. He could only use that move against me. My Chandelure was going to eat every attack and kill it slowly. It was the best moment.
And painful.
Yeah, it was the best moment just in VGC for my Pokemon to be the last one standing, knowing that it can't die no matter what the situation is. So at that point, it was like, yeah, you pretty much won, but I'm going to keep pressing this button to make us all wait. Right. Other than that, I won a couple of prizes, and I bought a couple of things.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought a Sword and Shield Trainers Elite box, so I opened up the booster packs. There were a lot of good cards. One card, and I'll show you this later, KG. I got Bede, the rival from Sword and Shield. I have a hyper holographic of him, the one that's like all rainbow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a nice pull. That was a really nice pull. I got Gigantamax Snorlax.
Ooh, that's
a holographic Gigantamax Snorlax. That was fun. I also got a new binder for my cards because my old binder's full. I got a couple of giant metal Pokeballs, and since I won a couple of those tournaments, I was able to use the points that you remember you play for points and you can buy stuff with the points. Just like there, we can do that there. I bought a Latios and Latias hat. So
nice.
I had a really good time. Like it was fun. It wasn't as big as Worlds, obviously, because Worlds is the biggest Pokemon.
On a different scale, yeah.
It's the biggest Pokemon tournament in the whole area. But this was fun. I had a lot of fun. I was very happy with my trip, and I got to meet a lot of great content creators and just talk with a bunch of people. One of the weird things I saw too, I saw this old lady, right? She had to have been in her 60s, her mid 60s, late 60s. And she's just sitting there and she's just chilling in this chair. And I go, she must be like a kid's grandmother or something. The kid probably entered a tournament because they have a juniors division tournament.
Of course.
Like the kid probably,
isn't that the one with the cute Eevee plushie?
Yeah, the little girl won in Oceania.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, it was like
Oceania. She won. She won that tournament. She's 8 years old.
And she's so cute with the
Yeah, she's so cute. She's just gripping this Eevee. I love it. I love when pure stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
I feel a little bad for the. I feel a little
proud
bad.
Follower of the floof.
Yeah, I feel a little bad for the. It was Eevee. It was him. He's the reason she won. By the way, good job. Eevee.
Yeah,
you sent your positive vibes to her. But
I gave her my divine blessings, and good things came out of it. So
right,
you're welcome.
So when I saw this lady, I'm like, this old lady, she's just chilling here. She must be here because of one of her grandkids. I look back and I see her with a Switch connected to somebody else's Switch, and I'm like, hold on one second. This lady's competing in the tournament. She's an active participant in the tournament, and she's killing it. It's just, I don't know. I love seeing stuff like that. I love seeing when like different ages come together that you wouldn't expect. I love seeing like dads and sons get together. I love seeing mothers and daughters. I love seeing just family in general come together for we've reached a level. I think Pokemon has reached a level in its time period where Pokemon's not just really like obviously it's targeted towards kids, but I think it's reached much further than that. It's transcended that.
It's universal.
Hell, I was sitting at the Nintendo 64's / GameCube era where you could just like play the games there just for free or whatever, like we did.
Yeah.
It's all funny. It's all funny games until you see an old woman pull out her Switch.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Pulls up with the dock.
Right. So yeah, and when I'm sitting there, I see this little kid. He's playing. And then the little kid passes it to the mom, and the mom is like she's jumping at the chair. I can see the anticipation in her eyes. She knows what the game is. She knows everything to do. She's playing Pokemon Stadium and she's into it.
She like a switch just sort of clicked on her, and he's like,
yeah, she's like, yeah, I played this as a kid. And the son's like, Mommy, you keep winning. I don't know. Something about that moment made me smile a lot. Just like yeah, that's because she grew up with that game that you were playing.
You're
I mean,
saying
to be
that's gonna be
fair,
us?
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like the same way with the older arcade games. Like, there's still people that will faithfully
Yeah.
play like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man until till they're blue
Till
in the
the end of
face.
time, yeah.
Yeah,
And of
like
course
I just
that 90-year-old Japanese woman that still plays Tetris.
Yes,
yes.
that story is heartwarming too.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
the one
just
about the where she had like a health condition and Nintendo gave GBA? I know there was a story
No, no,
on that
no, 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 no,
recently.
no, no. Her Game Boy, her Game Boy, the DMG broke,
Yeah,
and her daughter wrote to Nintendo
yeah, that's
about
the story I'm referring
that's
to.
what that's what it was. But somehow, some way, Nintendo found in a random warehouse a new DMG Game Boy, like original DMG Game Boy, still in the
Sealed up.
box.
That's the big twist right there. It was still sealed up, and they
yeah,
gifted it to her. And that shit had me like in the feels, man. It's
right.
stories like that that you always want to hear on a daily basis, man.
Video games transcend all generations.
Indeed.
That's what I'm
But
loving
most
that video
importantly,
because when video
joy.
games first came out, everybody kept saying, "Ah, they're toys, kids, they're for kids, they're for kids. Obviously, they're for kids. They're cartoony."
My mom still tells me a story about how she was a bartender in the early 1980s, and she had to go out and go to the freaking bank at like 10 o'clock at night to get fucking $500 worth of quarters, because people were just like killing it
on
with the
arcades.
machines. And like, well, yeah, I mean she said that there was a Pac-Man machine in the bar.
Yeah, so
So
it's
it's
just
like, yeah.
I just love
And plus today there are plenty of barcades.
yeah.
Like in this country,
Yeah,
arcade,
they just opened one up near my place called Up Now, and it's literally a bar arcade.
yeah, and a lot of them are the old machines, but I mean, it's not like Japan where they have like brand new machines and 7 floors, 8 floors of this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it's something. It's showing that video games are making more of an impact internationally.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
People still love to go to an arcade and play
Of
fucking
course.
4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Of
there's
course,
still a market for that.
Yeah, and that's just one thing I really loved about being there. I loved the fact that I was there, and like they had TCG tournaments too. They had the card game tournaments, and just seeing like the kids open the booster packs, and the adults are like looking like, oh, that's a good one, and just the kids exchanging cards with their parents. The parents are in the TCG. This little girl was learning how to play because her dad was teaching her. It was just a nice moment to see everybody come into like a unity and just sort of be together. And I think the best part, now Worlds was obviously a much bigger, grander event because the place was bigger, everything was bigger. This place was small. It was very small. The whole convention center was like less than half of the size of the convention center that we went to in DC. But you want to know something though? I think because of that, I was able to fully absorb the connection that these people had with Pokemon. Not to say I didn't when I was in Washington. Obviously, all of those people in that convention building were KG. We were crammed together. Obviously meant something.
Yes, of
but
course.
just to see it all in like, in just close proximity just made you really go, yeah, Pokemon is a very special franchise that brings a lot of people together. So that's pretty much my experience with regionals. I had a lot of fun. I definitely hope to go to more local tournaments like that again. And hopefully this time be a participant rather than just a spectator.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time nonetheless. That's always the most important bit, right?
I was making a lot of friends too. Like some people were just getting together. We were talking about combos. Like, what if they released the legendary Dynamax? Oh, that'd be fucking Kyogre being able to Dynamax with Primordial Rain is scary. And we were just laughing and joking around. It's just, I love that. So,
of course,
yeah, I really hope to do that again. And I definitely hope to, bring you guys or have you guys with me because it's just a great moment to have with friends and family alike. Yeah, so we can move on.
Well, what's funny though? I'm looking at like the random event tournaments for Play Pokemon, and there are like a fuck ton near me. in the next
Yeah.
month, there's like at least.
Oh yeah, and
50
you're in New
events.
York. I was saying, yeah, you're in New York. I think there's tournaments aplenty where you guys.
Oh hell yeah! Any corner basically has it. Like there's 1-2 blocks away from me. Every week they always have something new there.
Well, it is New York. I assume there's always something going on at least every day.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
either in like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
You know, it's the
Yeah.
state that never sleeps, according to the world.
Yeah.
But we need sleep eventually. Yeah, so it's like in tournaments, it's always around. You just gotta go look for it, know the right people, and you're gonna always end up usually having a good time. And that's always the most important bit right there. Just having a good old time with friends, family, and even making new pals that you might have not expected to make, you know? 'Cause that's always the blessing about these kind of conventions. It's about just the opportunity to kind of discover something new you would probably have never thought of, you know, witnessing firsthand. And I love that about conventions.
The Pokemon Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, that was fun. When I went there like 5 years ago, I went to the one in Philly at the Mann Center. So that was really fun. You know, any of these events, they're really fun. It's nice to gather around people and talk Pokemon. It's always beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, by the way, I don't know if it's still going to be in effect, but apparently Friday and Saturday at Nintendo New York is going to be a launch event for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX.
Yes.
Nice.
5 to 7 p.m. Friday, and I think 11 to 1 Saturday.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens.
Alrighty.
So, I think what do we have next? The anime?
We still haven't talked much about Pokemon Day, of course. We should probably get to Pokemon Day.
I was just about to say, well, do you guys put real fast thoughts on Zarude Sandstorm?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. let's take this opportunity right now to kind of pay respects to our boy who unfortunately died during the trailer.
Rillaboom?
No, Flygon.
Oh my god.
nah, Zarude is the Rillaboom knockoff, basically.
Yeah. That's literally what I tweeted. I was I'm getting rejected grass starter vibes from him.
Yeah, it's like as if this was meant to have been the original design. It's just like, nah, we're gonna scrap that thing, and it's like, no, that's actually a good design. Let's use it for something else.
I think I shared it with you guys in the chat. There was a Lion King reference. Grookey's like, what's the surprise? And Zarude's like, stay right here. It's to die for. And then Zarude throws Rillaboom off the cliff, and it's like, long live the king. No!
Didn't even get a year yet. He already died. Poor guy.
That was great. Zarude is literally just evil Rillaboom.
Even despite saying that, dude, I love Zarude's whole design in the film, having this kind of heroic cape on it.
I like the way he looks. Who asked for this Pokemon?
The internet. Okay, 2 things I want to bring up. For starters, 1, I love the design. 2nd, I love this whole Celebi connection with Zarude.
Yeah, they got a shiny Celebi this time around.
They did not tell you guys that there was going to be a Celebi.
He did say that. We talked about this in the PokePod.
Yeah,
there was the same shrine that was in movie 4.
Yeah.
So I guess Ash is going back to that particular forest, I'm assuming.
Well, no. I think it's just a different Celebi. I remember.
Well, of course it's different. It's just fucking different color.
Yeah, but I remember Celebi. So Celebi's pretty interesting because technically there's one Celebi, but there's also infinite Celebis.
Yeah, the movie 4 told us. Yeah, time travel.
Yeah, because time. So every Celebi you see is probably just from a different timeline. So obviously there's a timeline where there's a shiny Celebi, obviously, because why not?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that. I like that touch. Zarude, out of all Pokemon, I don't know. I don't get legendary from him or mythical. I don't know. He seems like a regular Pokemon to me, which is fine. A lot of people will say he looks like Mojo Jojo.
See, ever since people brought that up, that you have the 3-star Pokemon, which represent the
which look like the Powerpuff Girls,
and then you have fucking Zarude as Mojo Jojo. I can't fucking not see that anymore.
Yeah, it's great.
And I guess we're supposed to be the professor. I think that's what's going on with the story.
It's the same color scheme and everything. He's basically just Mojo Jojo.
I hope his shiny alt is basically like purple and green and whatnot.
It even made me laugh when they fucking Photoshop Mojo Jojo's head onto.
Yeah, they put the brain on his head.
It's great. Like I love the internet sometimes. It's stuff like this that's great.
My plan will not fail. My plans have failed several times before, but this plan will not fail because I have reviewed all the mistakes of my plans. But this plan will not because I've all the plans from before, and they won't fail because I am Mojo.
I think what made that great was the cutoffs.
Yes.
So when you kept talking, all I heard was playing.
Yeah, Twitch. I think Twitch is just scared of how fast I can talk.
No, it's
Discord.
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 Yeah.
Discord's how scared of how fast I can talk. It's like, oh, too many words, cut them off.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, Tyrone's going at the rap, and you see it again.
Yeah. Someone love me, you assuming I'm a human. What I got to do to?
Oh man, speaking about Eminem, I don't know what it is, but recently I got back into listening to the song. Could you believe it's been a decade since Recovery came out?
Oh
One of my
God.
favorite albums from Eminem, man. I listened to what was it, No Love with Lil Wayne. God, 10 years still hits.
What?
And also, you know, are we done with the Zarude Sandstorm
Yeah,
stuff?
I think we're done because
Yeah.
they didn't
Because
even though
now we have to talk about the second coming of Jesus Christ.
even though they gave us a trailer, yeah, they didn't really give us much on Zaru. They just said, "Here it is."
And also the boy as well,
Coco.
Oh yeah, we already kind of knew about Coco.
I love the
Yeah.
I love the poster, by the way. Just want to say that right now. I love the poster for the film. It's so weird that it's literally going to be the Ash and Go film, really, if you think about it. Because it's looking to be only those two, honestly.
I can't be the only one that's getting Tarzan vibes from the movie.
Wait, so Go is going to be in the movie?
I like how that clip said "Mom debated."
Wait. So Go is in
No,
this
Go's
movie?
not in the film. I'm saying like Ash and Coco are kind of like Ash and Go, basically, for the
Oh,
film.
got it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the second coming.
All right. Yeah. So
The second coming of Christ, which
okay,
is movie 22.
Now, with that being said, 0.07%?
0.7%.
Did it happen for you?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay, let's get to it then. I'm curious because TSS, you've been the one that's been clamoring that for so long, man. That percentage rate. I'm really curious to see if you finally got the answer, or maybe did not.
Well, I mean,
Let's
I
get
didn't
to it.
watch it because number one, I'm a cheap fuck and don't watch Netflix. But Filippo has, and wow, some of the whole thing, the whole spiel that he did when it launched, it was crazy. So here's what we know. So number one, the whole Netflix with Japanese audio is not a fluke. It's real. It's on there. The thing is though, you can watch it worldwide except in Japan and Korea. And I understand why, because that they have different distribution avenues to watch movie 22.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the English subtitles are actually the closed captions for the English version, which is still pretty close to what the Japanese is.
So it was still somewhat faithful, I guess you could say.
Yes, because I could say that the script writing for the last couple of years for TPCI has been pretty much on point, like 98%.
Especially with the Power of Us, which I think was probably the closest.
Especially with Holly Bowen, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that film in particular, I feel, was the closest to the original.
Yes, indeed. So, but within this case, it's the same, because as far as I know, all of Miyazaki's music was kept. The opening and ending was changed even on the Japanese track, because I'm pretty sure it has to do with Sony Music Entertainment's artist licensing, and not itself, not the company itself, not the music itself, but the artist licensing.
Yeah.
So, in that case, it is considered a win, because we finally got a freaking Japanese audio on a Western platform.
So
basically everything except the opening is
and the
opening and ending. Yeah. No opening and ending. So basically, the opening and ending on the Japanese track is the same as the English one.
I'm guessing also because like the opening is probably the Gotta Catch 'Em All song.
Okay, here's to explain it. To explain it, they did a remix of the Gotta Catch 'Em All theme, but not from the original. No, it's the remix of movie 1's opening theme. they did the remix to that
I'm gonna have to
version.
like listen to it.
It has the same introduction to like the original movie. You know, because there are two variations. There's the Got 'Em Catch 'Em All, which is the regular theme for the TV series, and then there's the first movie theme, which is in a completely different, done by a different artist and different, readjusted tunes and whatnot. That version right there was the one that was used for the remix. For
and
movie 22.
no Monchamp flexing twice.
Nah, unfortunately, they
I don't know why.
that.
That's a weird. Yeah, that was always a weird thing to me. I was like, did anyone else notice that?
Yeah, okay.
Am I the only one?
So a couple of things to note about the remix, though. They did have, of course, Ben Dixon, I believe it was, and Satru for that one. I will say they did a good job, and I do love that they got certain people to work on the core moments, because I believe Haven Pascal was probably one of them in the background, from what I remember somebody writing. I think it was Alolan Kev, as I call him. I think he was the one that brought it up in regards to that. Yeah, it was Haven Pascal, and there were a couple of other people in that as well. So I really love the remix to this one that they used for the film. I'm a little bummed out. We're probably not going to get a full version of it, but for what we got with the remix, though, on point. Absolutely enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I thought they were going to remix the original TV series theme, not the movie theme. So that to me was the biggest twist of the opening. And it's not a bad twist too. Honestly, I'm surprised to say this. It's a welcome one, and I'm very happy for that. As for the ending though, it depends. It could be a hit or miss for some people. I think the one thing that caught me off guard with the ending was the ending. Like the actual ending segment with Mewtwo and the Pokemon flying to the new location, basically being the one in the Johto film.
Yeah, New Island.
Yeah, that New Island. That part right there was...
No, New Island is the old one.
Oh, no, not New Island. It was the Johto Plateau or something. It was... I can't remember the
that Johto area. Yeah, so that was a weird music instrumentation to use for the finale, but I'm like, okay, I guess as long as everything else was fine. I think that was probably like the only real thing I had complaints with music-wise. But there was one thing in this film that was edited, not edited in a way, but I guess I should say included, that I was not a big fan of, man. But before I get to that, I do want to bring up one thing that I think many people might love. They did reference everybody's favorite snack by Brock in the dub.
Ah, the jelly donuts.
Yes, I love how they incorporated it in this, man. It was actually really well executed in this film, because it was during the time when they actually made it to the island, and they encountered the one particular chick there. Of course, Brock decided to be the man that he is, decides to try to kind of hit on her. And he's like, if we get together, I could make some of the delicious jelly donuts here. And then gets his ear yoinked by Misty, of course, being the usual gag that we see with the series. The other thing I also liked as well was the finale, when everybody went back to, the past and everything was erased. They did the ending like how everybody remembered it, like how he saw a really rare Pokemon that day, and, they're going to go and move on into the next journey. The narrator added something very special to the finale on that one, because normally it's like usually as the journey continues, and in this version it's something similar to that, but they included for a long time to come, and I thought that was a nice touch there.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that bit. It's a little small moment, but it's the little details to me personally that count. The other thing I also liked as well from the film, and this is something that I know many people might be thrown off by, of course, with 3D and whatnot. The animation in this film is still on point. It really is. If you enjoy the 3D art style and gimmick, I'm really loving that a lot of films are going in the 3D approach. I know it's weird, but video games do this with their 3D remakes and everything and whatnot, like what we're seeing lately, like with SpongeBob and all that. That there, like for films, I think it's an interesting thing. I know they're doing it for Lupin the Third. I'm excited to see that 3D film, man.
Oh yeah, good God. I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a film I'm gonna enjoy so much. Already, the animation is blowing my mind on how faithful they're adapting the original film into the 3D animation side of things. So looking forward to it. Yes, Rich Stain brought up in regards to the 3 trainers being reprised by the original VAs. that's also really cool too. So there's stuff like that.
It was the same case in the Japanese as well, so it's nice
Yeah.
to see them.
Yeah, you don't really see that in the dub. And then of course there's Mewtwo, who I believe was with Dan Green.
Dan Green, yeah.
They also another bit.
Hey,
as
wait,
well.
Dan Green was Mewtwo last time, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Well, for the Mewtwo Strikes Back, wasn't it? I don't think he was the original.
No, it didn't. No, Coco Niati. No, Mewtwo Strikes Back is the title of the first film. Second film.
Yeah. Mewtwo Returns.
Mewtwo Returns. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Mewtwo Returns.
Mewtwo Returns. That was where Dan Green voiced Mewtwo, correct?
Yeah.
But I don't think Mewtwo was Mewtwo was voiced by somebody else in the first one, basically. But seriously though, they did bring a famous line from the dub in this one. You know which one I'm referring to, and it works just as well as it did in the original. Just gonna say that right now. I love that.
Wait, which one?
You know, the famous Mewtwo quote. The circumstances of one.
Oh, that
yeah. They did that here. I loved it as well. Of course, the big difference.
Yeah, I would say because that's like the iconic. Yeah.
Of course, but here's the other thing. Now let's go to the negatives. For starters, while that scene was great, understandably so, given that we're using the Japanese OST, the song that many fans love so much from the first film, "The Tears of Life," was sadly not included here. But it's understandable. It's literally from the dub. It's a dub exclusive, so it's
there's some moments that the first movie dub just captures that I don't think can really be recaptured again. Unfortunately,
yeah,
like
it's the dub score that adds its own touch to the film.
If you were to ask me which credit music sounds better, I'll always tell you the dub. Just because I like the Ash and Brock and Misty walking across the fields, and you get to hear like the little like. Music artists actually work to and put passion
Aguilera,
into like they put passion into those songs, and they just I don't think you can just recapture those moments. They seem like stuff you would see on a on a music video or something. Yeah, just like a music video or something. They just there's this one song, "Tears Bring Me Back to Life" or something. Like that's a good song. In there, just such good music that I don't think they'll ever be able to put again.
No.
I like the song that plays when Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise fight against their clones. That's a good song. We obviously can't have that because of the Japanese score, but
brother,
my brother, goddamn that song.
Yeah, they don't use that sadly. Okay,
they composed that song around the events that were happening in.
And it worked. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the whole thing is though Warner Brothers doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So
yeah,
unfortunately, these are elements that unfortunately is going to have to be
It's one of the reasons I think the first three movies are so good is just because of the amount of work that America was willing to. They were like, yeah, we're going to dub it, and unfortunately, we're not going to have the Japanese score, but damn it, we're going to try.
And they did. You cannot deny they had their own side to it, and it's like if you don't like it, that's fine. In this day and age now, it's more easier to access the original films in the Japanese side, so it's like you can have whatever side. And also, by the way, more music for us, you know what I mean. And the dub music in the films were some of the best. I mean, Tears of Life is a perfect example. Lugia's song, the battle against Entei.
The song Donna Summer sings, "The Power of One," like she obviously that's based around the Lugia theme they're playing the whole time. Like they made a whole song for that.
Yeah, and it works so well. It's things like this that we'll never see again in this day and age, but I'm so grateful we at least had the opportunity to see it happen. So music-wise, of course, we had to unfortunately axe out the dub side of things.
You also know it's not shit because normally TSS, and he's really good at this, he'll point it out. He does not pull punches. If a song is shit, he'll say it's shit. TSS has not been against the first three movies' scores at all.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So there you go. So from an expert's point of view, I guess you could say, it looks like it got a plus there on our end. So now let's talk about some of the things. As mentioned before, music unfortunately got axed. So as Thanos would say, a soul for a soul. This is what we
but on the other hand, we get all of Miyazaki's music, which is
which is also the most painful bit too, because this is also the last time. For now, anyway, we don't know what's happening for the film moving forward regarding Coco yet. I do want to say the trailer music sounds an awful lot like something that would be done by Miyazaki, or maybe just the standard regular, music that we normally hear from the trailer songs and whatnot. But point of the matter is, It sounds an awful lot like Miyazaki, but we don't really know yet. So time will tell if he'll come back or if it's going to be Yuki Hayashi coming in to compose for the OST for that film. Okay, so yeah, dub music, unfortunately not here. Other thing, I'm not a big fan of Misty's voice, man. Oh god.
Yeah, because it's not. What's her name?
Listen,
not Rachel Lillis.
Yeah, listen. No disrespect to the current one. It's just like there are elements.
Let me try to think. Isn't it who voice is missing now? Lisa.
I can't remember.
I can't remember the name.
Let's find out.
Yeah, if the chat, you guys might have it. It's Jesse's Casey Rogers.
Casey Rogers, the original the original Ash voice that was in freaking Mastermind. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my! I got amazing training skills. You mean that one?
Yes.
Nice. I think because also the person who does Brock's voice had a longer time with Brock. Misty just sort of left in an AG and made like slight appearances here and there in AG, whereas Brock had Battle Frontier and Diamond and Pearl to still like work out a voice. So at least in Diamond and Pearl, like he's like, yeah, I'm not Eric Stewart, but I'm gonna give this voice some.
Oh no, he does a solid job, by the way, in the dub. I'm just gonna say that right now. He does a really amazing job.
It's almost to a point where I'm used to him being Brock at this point.
Yeah, the original cigarette voice.
Nah, but like for me personally, I think this Brock was fine. It's just Misty, but it's also because Misty's always been changing too much. We need to know because is it no,
Casey
it's Michelle
Rogers
Knotts, apparently.
Michelle Knotts.
Oh right, Casey Rogers wasn't the voice of the Wobbuffet for the dub, if I recall correctly.
No, it was Erica Schroeder.
I don't remember. I know somebody retired also as well for Wobbuffet's VA as well from the dub side of things.
Wobbuffet was Erica Schroeder, I think.
Was it? Okay, yeah. So there were a lot of retirements going on, I guess, for the Pokemon scene. But yeah, so a lot of the VAs also, she was. Okay, somebody says yes, she was for Wobbuffet. Okay, and then got a new voice by SM. So there you go. Now the thing, anyway, to continue on, I just was a little too, not really positive in regards to Misty's dub voice in the film. But that's just me, of course.
Wobbuffet, you did terrible in this movie. It sounded like you weren't even there.
Yes, so there's that, and then lastly, this is the most painful bit about this film for me, the dub anyway. They added something I did not like. They added Pokemon cries in the Pikachu cry scene.
Yeah. It only has more of an impact when Pikachu.
No. Yes, and then all you hear in the background like gong, gong, and then just like random roar noises in the background. Okay, I was not a big fan of that. That was the only bit of criticism I have for the dub side voice wise with like the additional lines and whatnot. That to me was really bad. But everything else was still great, though. Nonetheless, everything else I think was great. Once again, Sarah Natachini, I know a lot of people criticized her over the years, but seriously,
she's gotten Ash.
She has earned her right as being the new voice of Ash.
She's got it. There will be no replacement for Veronica Taylor in my heart. But Sarah Natachini has done. She's doing a fine job. She's all right. I want to make it very clear. I never hated Sarah Natachini. I've never hated her, even during Battle Frontier. But I mean, because all she's doing is the only thing she's a victim for is taking a job. Like she just took a job. Who would turn away at the chance to be a childhood icon character? No one. Absolutely not. I would jump on that chance faster than you could. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I'd be Ash. But just I don't know. Like you can't hate her. Sometimes it was the direction. Like I feel like vocal direction.
Yeah, of course, vocal direction is always the most important thing.
Yeah, but like, look at this point, like I said with Brock, Sarah has done a good enough job for me to like. If Ash is speaking, I can visualize both voices. So Veronica will never have a replacement in me, but Sarah's doing a good job.
With that said, though, how would you like it if Veronica did come back, but not for the character you would have expected?
No. If you put Veronica in the anime, either she's Ash.
You sure?
I mean, I know she was May, but she did a whole different thing for May, and it.
What about another particular boy?
And Delia, I know she was Delia, but
And she can't come back in for another character, specifically a main character?
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. She can't be I don't know. If she's not Ash, it's gonna bug me. Because then it's like your position's right there. No, you can't.
Do you want her squad?
I know
no, I don't want it.
I know what you're gonna say, and I know what's
Sakuragi.
What the fuck? You guys got some amazing Pokemon to fucking catch 7 billion Pokemons. If you watch Omega Ruby, then
you'll understand.
Then you'll understand the reference. But if Veronica Taylor's not Ash, but she's doing another character close enough to Ash, that's gonna make me not. I'm not gonna sit there.
I don't know. I think it all depends on if it happens, though. I would like.
Because
then
I'm like, listen.
Bump Sarah out of her seat and take your job. What the fuck are you doing?
I would still love Veronica to just take the piss out of Sarah in a voice role, just so I can freaking. I will watch that.
So to where one outperforms the other. Dude, like imagine if there are like moments. I think this is what you're referring to. If like. She imitates Ash's voice as Go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would love for that to happen. Like if that's going to happen, maybe the writers on the Japanese side will make him lock Satoshi, make him lock Ash, and it's like
I think that would like be the thing that will like spice up the dub to be different on its own from the original version, You do like these little nice touches there, especially because like in the recent episode, which we're gonna get into in just a bit, they do kind of poke fun at that with one particular character there. We'll get to that soon enough, but yeah, like I would not mind it if Veronica, if like she can return for Ash, given things happening now, I would not mind seeing her come and be for Go. It'll take some time.
Only because I know how much Veronica lost her job. And how sad she was when she lost it. I can't comfortably sit and watch her be a main character while Ash is being voiced by someone else.
But
can't.
But I think this will be a good opportunity at least for Veronica to kind of show off what made her, what made her so loved by the anime with the Pokemon
but then you gotta sit and realize you're not doing you gotta hear Ash talk and go, Veronica, you've been doing. You're not. Where's the Pikachu? You ready? No, it's not there. Okay, well, thanks. I'll sit through this 30-minute hell.
1, 2, 3. Oh, man.
Well, the other thing is we need to look up when Disney XD's exclusivity contract ends with Pokemon, because it would be cool if Netflix picks up the series.
Oh, dude, if Netflix picks it up,
I mean, Netflix already has the original series.
No, but you don't understand it.
They also have X and Y on there.
No, we don't mean that. We mean funding the dub.
Oh, God.
To make it exclusive for Netflix streaming. Because you got to remember, you got to understand, like right now, social, streaming services are blowing up tremendously. Netflix is acquiring rights to anime like Beastars, what other shows were there? I forgot the other one regarding like.
Well, we have we also have freaking Psychics no Sainan.
Mm-hmm. The new season, I believe it was for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also got films too for and stuff like that. So there are elements like this that exist that streaming platforms could take. If Netflix were to acquire the rights for Pokemon, honestly, that is a big win for Netflix right there. Imagine the possibilities of not only if this, like, imagine if what we saw with movie 22 was the tease to what's going to happen for future Pokemon 2019 episodes, where they will give us the subbed version alongside with the dubbed version. Of course, the only difference I think will probably be the opening and the ending that will be changed for all variations. I think that would be a massive win for Netflix, honestly. If it happens, of course.
Yeah.
Only time will tell, but for now, though, let us take this opportunity to celebrate the fact that our 0.7% has at least accomplished something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hopefully this is only the beginning of what is to come for the new decade for the Pokemon franchise. If this is their way of allowing the Japanese side to come into the English, side of the world, then so be it. We'll have to take what we can get. As long as we get that 0.7% to rise up just a little slightly higher. So with that being said, our new percentage rate for this is going to be 0.71345. What's the pi number again for this thing? I don't have it with me. Oh, well.
415.
Alrighty then. So, I know we've taken a while. I apologize, everybody. We had to talk about our shenanigans prior to this, but you guys all ready now to finally get into the review then?
Flip it.
Alrighty then.
Let's
I know
do
it's
it.
been a while. I know. I apologize in advance, everybody. It's been a weird way of holding it to the finale, but let's get into our review, ladies and gentlemen, to the recent episode of Pocket Monsters 2019. This episode focusing on Go, his family, his really awesome grandmother, and just the struggles that this boy had in the past, and well, the bright side of the present timeline right now for Go as a character. So let's break it down a bit. Now,
But before we break it down, I just want to mention one thing.
We gotta break it up.
Yesterday, I posted about how Go in this episode is rocking 6 NEC multi-sync monitors and a Surface Pro. And 6 hours ago, I actually got a reply from fucking the official Microsoft Surface account. Go figure that one out.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
If you go to my tweet that I made yesterday and you look in the thread, the freaking official Microsoft Surface account replied to my tweet.
yeah, he says right there, whoa, now that's a dream setup.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Nice.
Man.
And look, speaking about the setup, there you go, right there. I don't know how much money this man's got, but goddamn, Go's family be rocking if these family members
Talking
manage
like
to
a-
give Go this
talking-
high quality shit.
Targeting like a small loan of $1 million. And I can kind of see why Microsoft would reply to your tweet, TSS, because I'm looking at the tablet and one of the monitors there. It almost has that that Windows Start menu setup.
Windows 10, yeah. It looks like Windows 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Windows Surface Pro as well, like with the little.
I want sound effects. I want him to turn the computer on and all we hear.
That's Windows XP.
I know. That's what I want.
Although it does make sense, it would make sense because this PC's been owned since he was a little kid, like
Yeah.
younger. So
Well, I like to imagine they switched the computers, but I think the monitors stayed.
yeah,
Yeah.
you hear like that old dial-up tune as well in the background. Man, all right, so
Welcome. You've got mail.
all right, so let's start breaking this episode down. And the first thing I want to talk about, to me, my positive thing about this episode, this might be the stupidest positive thing I got to say about this, but I still have to bring this up nonetheless. Welcome to the 21st century, Ash. Holy shit, you finally learned how to ring a bell and use a phone. Goddamn. A cell phone, to be exact.
Yeah, I want to let you guys talk because I want to go on a big thing about this, and I want you guys to say all the things you need to say first because this episode interests me a lot.
Really now? Okay.
First of all, Go lives in apartment 707, which is obviously a reference to the 7 channel that is TV Tokyo.
Wait, I thought that was a reference to the Pokemon.
Yeah, like,
No.
This isn't my
707.
favorite episode of Pocket Monsters, but it is the most interesting episode of Pocket Monsters.
Yeah,
and
it
I'll get into it after you guys your things.
Alrighty, so let me just go at it first then real quick. To me, what I loved about this episode the most is just, and you guys already know how I'm a sucker for slice of life kind of stories. You know, I'll always love it when we take the action elements aside and just more focus on the realism that this world can actually accomplish when you take away the battling aspect. And that's what we kind of got with this episode. We really just focused on Ash and Go at the beginning of the episode, realizing that, listen, we can't be here at the lab for a bit. Let's go back to our respective homes. Ash was going to go back to his goddamn home. Like, that really threw me off. He was legitimately going to go back to Pallet Town at some point in the episode. Of course, had the issue not happened, he wouldn't have, he would have gone to Kanto, or not Kanto, to Pallet Town via the train service. I thought that was a nice little bit there. Secondly, I appreciate and adore Go's parents so much, especially the grandmother. I don't know what it is about her character, but she's that kind of grandmother you will love to have in your family. You know what I mean? She could be 60, 70-year-old, but she has that heart and beat of like a 30-year-old and would still be rocking and kicking ass. She's like, I'm going to go to a karaoke showdown. I'm going to have some fun time. I'm going to win that tournament. And you see her come back with the trophy at the end of the episode. And I'm like, hell yeah, Grandma, go. I love that. I loved it so much there. So the thing also about this episode, if you've taken a close look, it felt like a Christmas episode. March.
It had heavy Hallmark Christmas special vibes.
Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
In the middle of March.
Also, I think this is the first episode where Go has a team of 6.
Yeah, he actually brings this Pokemon. Who would have thought, right?
He has a team of 6, and he catches an additional Pokemon at the end.
Which, by the way, the Dugong just randomly vanishes into thin air when he catches that 6.
I love that he used the Dugong. I was like,
I know somebody in particular who might be happy with that one.
You're using your resources. I don't know. It was really good. I love how all of the Pokemon in the cold. So, because bugs and birds don't do well in cold. Just
I
in
know.
general.
Oh yeah, like Super Junior was so adorable in this episode. I loved how in the beginning of the episode.
At least the replacement Seiyu sounded a lot better here than it was in the original in the Battle Frontier up, because I thought that was pathetic.
I think to be fair, there was only like one line for Suba at that moment. But here it actually became a very vital point in the episode, so I was very happy to see that. Somebody also brought this up as well. The flying Pokemon.
The spirit of the spirit of English dub Zapdos.
And also Guzzlord. Is that the VA for Guzzlord?
Yeah, Shinichiro Miki. That's Kojiro's voice.
Holy shit, that was so great, man. I love that bit right there.
But let's actually talk about Go's parents, because I find it very interesting that it's a very tech-related family.
Yes. Okay. So according to what I've been reading online, apparently the company's called GoGo or something like that.
GoGo. It's called GoGo Systems.
Yeah. So their whole shtick is that they work on, I guess, restoring service in spots.
Well,
like
they're basically
like
they're basically like a tech service company, a computer consulting company.
Yes.
Go's mother is a programmer, and Go's father is a systems engineer.
Now, I know you are, of course, a very big fan of these kind of things. How did you view all this, by the way?
Considering that Go has this crazy ass setup, I wouldn't be surprised if he grows up.
You know what? Yeah, that makes a lot of goddamn sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it kind of explains why, Go is very tech savvy to begin with.
Right, but, because his family literally works around tech.
Yeah, he has a phone, he has a laptop. This dude basically has everything, almost everything on him.
Pro. It's like,
Ash has been using
Go.
Surface Pro. He has a fucking foldable touchscreen cell phone.
My dude, Ash has been using sticks and rocks this whole time.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's been working all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I love all that element in the episode, and another cool thing I also love too. I just love the scenery, the background effects and everything in this episode was just so beautiful to just witness and see. You appreciate all like the little details, like the various buildings, just how high and low, and the park that they're in. If you take away the Pokemon and everything, this was just a beautiful slice of life episode that really dives more into Go's whole, character, and you see what he grew up as, and you see the family that he has, and they're all very lovable in their own respective rights. And I think that I I'm very happy with this. Now I know many people might be a little thrown off by Ash being in the storyline, but you have to understand Ash was needed in this episode for one thing, to kind of give a little bit of relief to the parents.
Yeah,
because the whole point of the whole, like at the beginning of the episode, they showed Go had struggles. He's always been by himself. He's never really interacted or had very much social life out there aside from Koharu. So when at the finale, when Go's parents got to see Satoshi, Pikachu, and all of the Pokemon that Go's collected, it gave them a sense of relief to know that he's grown and he has friends.
He's not just befriending Pokemon too; he's befriending people.
Yeah. And also, this is another cute thing too. Go actually talked about Ash and the others to his parents. That was so adorable. And the mother coming out and be like, "Oh, so you're Satoshi, aren't you? I've heard good things about you from Go here." And then Ash with the catfish like, "Oh, is that what I'm hearing?" Yeah. I love that. It was so great to see.
I loved the way that this whole episode transpired, is because of the cold. All the systems were completely system maintenance because of the cold weather. Mm-hmm. So it made it drive the plot. I did like that, because if you think about it this way, we needed to be introduced to Go's parents and family anyway, because it was kind of like a mystery. It's like, well, what the hell is Go doing there? It's like, what is his backstory? And this is what I've been talking about Go needing development on his backstory. Here we finally got it, and I'm really glad to see they actually fleshed him out like this, because now it gives me as an IT professional even more respect for Go. Because now he has a pretty sick setup, which I'm fucking envious of. I wish I had fucking 6 monitors.
Maybe at the end of 3 years, we might get to be like Go.
Yeah, exactly.
10 years old, he's already going places compared to the rest of us.
Exactly. But I really like that. But what really drove it home was the fact that Go dropped the gift while running for the bus. That's the whole reason why Satoshi was involved in this episode plot anyway.
Yes.
And then it was like, let's just, then what ends up happening is their parents get a phone call saying, they were just about to leave from work, and then they had another phone call saying, "Are you available now?" And it's like, "Yeah, we're available." And then they had to do more work at the hospital in front of the station, at a random hospital. So they had to go and do that, and then while they were doing that, then Go got the message, and then Go said, "Okay, we're just gonna go outside," and then they go to the park, and that's when they find this Cubone basically being harassed by a bunch of Mankey.
Yes.
Right.
Which also, by the way, nice reference to the original series by Ash at one point in the episode. He did actually acknowledge Mankeys being very mischievous little troublemakers.
Because he had personal experience.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that Ash was the one that came up with the idea to get.
Took my hat.
Yeah, I love how Ash was the one that got the bait idea to kind of.
Also, I liked the fact that both Marina Alchots, who does Go's Rotom Dex voice, Rotom Phone's voice, and also Go himself, calling Mankey Monkey. They kind of, I guess. Yeah, I guess they kind of had a weird kind of vocal direction, or maybe they just didn't notice it. But it's like, I guess just heard, oh, it's monkey, so I guess it pronounced like a monkey.
I'm so happy though. I don't know why. I just love the idea of it just being called monkey.
Monkey,
stupid monkey.
Stupid monkey.
Exactly. So
stupid monkey.
Yes.
So basically, I don't know. I just loved it.
Paul.
Oh, stop the stupid tribute to Trump video. Was that it? Oh man, but I overall really love this episode.
Oh wait, TSS, did you have
no? Because we have to continue. We have to finish the plot.
Yes.
So basically, these Mankey So basically, Go and Score Bunny, watch these Mankey freaking torture the shit out of this Cubone. They try to get involved, and Scorbunny fights him off, but then freaking Cubone throws its bone up in the air. They grab it, Monkey grab it, and then they run off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the Cubone's very sad about it, and it's like, oh, we'll help you get it. Don't worry. And then, as Go realizes that he forgot the gift for his parents, so then Satoshi calls him. It's like weird fucking ringtones amok, right?
Yes.
And says that he has it, and he said, "Well, we're at the park right now." So then they have this great idea to try to catch the Mankey, and that is putting a berry on a random park bench to entice them. And then when the Mankey come back, freaking Pikachu does an electro web and pretty much gets them there. They make him stuck, and then it's like then they try to ask, well, where's Cubone's bone? And it's like they don't know.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that the monkey's reactions are actually mimicking the emojis?
Yeah, hear no evil, see no evil, and say no evil.
Say no
I liked that.
Yeah.
I
That
thought
was
that
a
cool.
cute. Yeah, that was a cute little.
I
nod
liked
there.
that. That was a nice moment.
Mm-hmm. And then they just you just see the Mankey just struggle, and then it's like then all of a sudden while they're walking back they see this Pharaoh, and that's why it's like and it's
I had a bad experience with Pharaoh too. Fucking thing almost killed me in Pikachu.
Stole my Pidgeot from me.
But
I had a lot of bad experiences.
Yeah, so basically the Pharaoh is pointing at it, and it's like, okay, Satoshi, okay, they're gonna ride on Dragonite. Now the funny thing is they're riding on Dragonite to this pond, and then as Go's parents come out of the hospital, they see them on Dragonite.
Yeah,
They're just like casually flying by.
Oh, fucking Dragonite, that's right.
Yeah, but my favorite part is when Pharaoh is like doing all the wing gestures and stuff, and then you see it's all about the pawn stuff, and it's like Ash
is like I don't
whatever.
I have no fucking
Like,
clue.
okay, we gotta check.
I think the bone is in there.
I just love that.
Go just turns to Ash. What do you think he said? Some bullshit, but I think the bone is in the lake.
Seriously,
I was in and out. I was drifting in and out. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that was a nice little moment by Ash. He's like, we hear the bird going, and he's like,
Yeah, I
didn't get
it.
that.
But yeah, I didn't catch any of that. See, that's the type of subtle humor that works. Like, if we're talking humor, it's stuff like that definitely works out so well because it's just it didn't try to say, "Ha, we're funny. Look at how funny we are. Look at how we're trying to be funny." It was just literally like I don't know what he said, but I think the bone is in there. Like they listen to Pharaoh's whole spiel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that type of humor. That's the type of humor I'm looking for in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually, what happens is okay. Then they're thinking, oh, it's too cold to go into the pond. It's like okay, we're gonna call it Dugong, and then we're gonna have Dugong do it. And I love that.
Yeah, that was cool. You great utilization of Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Dugong gets the bone. And then then Go's parents come into that pond, and they said, "Oh, thank goodness," and then handed them the present and stuff. But the fun thing is like, then as soon as Go is introducing Satoshi and his partner Pikachu, and then all of his Pokemon, all of a sudden Cubone just jumps up, when he mentions, "Oh, these are all my Pokemon." Yeah, and it's like, and then they say, "Oh, it looks like it wants to join. It looks like it wants to be friends too." And that's when the capture happens. And I think that's pretty cool that we have Pokemon development before capture, just like the Dragonair and the Dragonite thing. So they're definitely doing the right thing.
People were hoping to see this from Go with all of his captures, and I'm like, bro, you can't do that. It's hard to. It's hard to do like 3 captures in one episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so having like a singular episode focus on this kind of like with just this one Pokemon, I thought was really nice, and I really do like that they're kind of mixing things up with how Go is capturing the Pokemon this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people would love to see capture after capture after capture. I'm just very happy that this episode only gave him just the Cubone capture and not the Mankey capture or the Fearow capture, because that would have felt very odd with what's going on with the plot.
Yeah, like it was like I know a lot of ghost catches sometimes just feel random.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good that they actually gave this one an oriented story. Like I wouldn't be against the idea of Cubone just being a permanent member of his team.
Yeah, like a secondary one. Yeah.
Yeah, because he earned that position.
Exactly. He has.
Plus, Cubone's a very popular mon, and I'm surprised he hasn't made a main debut in the series.
No, he has. Well, not really.
Not
Cubone,
on anybody's
but
team. No, not on anybody's team. No trainers have.
Kiawe?
No. What?
No.
Well, I'm not counting that Marowak.
Oh.
I'm talking about Kanto.
Okay, Cantonian. Okay,
Yeah.
I see how it is. Now we got it. We go. So that's great. So I'm very happy with that. Somebody says, Tyrone, does this remind you of how they developed all of Bonnie's Pokemon that she eventually had to give up?
I just made a tweet about that. That's probably why someone did that.
Okay.
Bonnie she had to give up Flabebe, because she had to give up Flabebe because Flabebe was needed in order for the old lady to keep on living.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very powerful episode.
Honey. Goodbye, Flabebe.
Right. Hello, Flabebe. Hello, my honey. She had to give up Tyrantrum so that he can live in the pavilion, because extinct Pokemon can't really live much where else without the right resources. So it would be happy there and not with Bonnie. So she had to give it up, even though the thing loved Bonnie. Bonnie, she's so good. She's such a great character. But anyway, back to Pocket Monsters. Did you guys say the things you needed to say, or we wrap it?
I think I've managed to get.
Because I know we still got to talk about when Ash and them do at the house.
Yeah, now I want to hear what you got to say. So
this episode, not my favorite episode, but definitely the most interesting episode. Like this is definitely intriguing episode to me. Because I like when Ash is like, wait, you got to tell your mom that you're coming back home? I just show up. I just show up. It's led to some very traumatizing moments. But no, things, like just little things. And it kind of leaks into how I feel about this whole episode. Where, Koharu's mother, she draws. She draws it for a living. Right? I mean, she draws. She makes art. And then we got Go's parents, working on down systems on computers. We heard the word hospital at one point. Yes. We got apartment complexes. Are we in the world of Pokemon still? Because this is definitely the most humanized world of Pokemon I've seen since debatably Gen 1.
Right?
That's what's got me. That's what made me so interested about this episode, was just because it felt so
down to earth.
Right. It felt so realistic, but at the same time, the Pokemon are being active members. Go's using his Pokemon to help search for Cubone's bone. Ash and Pikachu are still there. And I love that they saved Ash for later. They could have easily had him travel with Go the same time, but they didn't do that. They had him go, oh, well, my mom still knows that I'm out, and she trusts that I'm out, so I don't think it'll be bad for me to do a detour at Go's place. So he does it, and he shows up later in the episode. That means that most of them Go, because no offense to Go, but when Ash is on screen, usually all eyes are on him.
Yes.
They have to be. One, it's 20 plus years we've known him, so he's easily recognizable. And two, and an artist, I'm just saying this as a former art student. As a former artist student standpoint, if you were to look aesthetically, Ash catches more eyes than Go. Even if you didn't know who either of these two characters were. Ash uses primary colors, blue, red, Pikachu's yellow. Those are primary colors. They catch the eye faster. Go uses gray. Gray is not a catchable color. The red on him is.
Yeah, but it's only one out of.
But it's only a sliver, right? So that gave us time to fully absorb who Go is, his character, his personality traits, his mannerisms and how he tackles things. Another thing I thought was interesting. I thought, and TSS touched this a little bit on how he knows what Go's kind of based off of. Part of me thought this anime was going to do what most animes do with children like Go. Be distant with his parents. Like, oh, his parents work so much. So because they do, they don't take the time to take care of him. They don't really love him. Like, they don't, sorry, son, we're busy. No, it wasn't like that at all. They were upset that they were busy. They yearned to see Go. Go yearned to see them. He just took a level of understanding. Because I hate also what happens. There's another part to this trope that extends a cliche where the character, the child character grows resentment towards the parents because they don't show up a lot. Go does not do that. I love that he doesn't do that. It's a very big cliche. He doesn't hate his parents for having to work so much. He understands the situation. He understands. Yeah, he's very understanding, and he just wishes that they would get done faster so that he can, be with them. So he still supports their goals. He just wants to, still reap the benefits of them being his parents. It's a mutually loved relationship that's separated by responsibility rather than negligence. And
also just the thing, as you mentioned before, this is so relatable, man. It's
right, because I remember, this is a stupid example, but Boruto. I love Boruto. Yeah, his issue.
Burrito.
His issue with his father Naruto was that Naruto was Hokage, so he was never around. He even made a shadow clone at Himawari's birthday party. So instead of celebrating with his kids, it was a shadow clone, which pissed him off. So he started to become a little brat because he was like, my parents won't hang out with me. Go is not like that, and that's a level of maturity that I can appreciate in him. It brings a layer of depth to him because it's like, yes, he's upset that his parents don't spend time with him a lot, but he's also he understands the situation enough to where he knows he still is going to be a supporting son, and at the very least do his best to follow his dreams.
Yeah.
So it all comes together very well when his parents do just happen to see him while he's doing shenanigans with Ash, and how they and when they do come together, Go's able to, you can definitely see that the distance that Go had with his parents doesn't separate them emotionally. And that's what I really love about this. It's really deep. It's so odd and foreign to me to be looking at a character with such deep analysis in Pokemon, of all things, because it feels like Ash in this new world feels so separate, because Ash is what we're always used to. Ash and his lifestyle and how Pokemon has set itself up. We've never had characters like Koharu and Go who have such in-depth lives to the point where there's much more going on here than just Pokemon.
Mm.
And they're things. Like, there's been plenty of characters with character development. Hell, Mallow's mother died. You know, you got other characters who have had some deep stuff, but they usually have been rooted in Pokemon. They usually have all the same roots, which is Pokemon. Pokemon live in this world too, and they obviously play a big role in support. But here we see, Go's parents are too busy because they have to restore computer maintenance. We see Koharu's mother does drawings for, what does she do? Drawing for manga? For manga? Whoops.
She's a working artist, yeah.
Oh, working
like
artist.
An illustrator.
Yeah, she's an illustrator. Yeah, she's an illustrator. Koharu goes to regular people's school. Like, it's just such a weird. It's such an environment that we're so not used to in Pokemon that it allows us to actually deeply psychologically analyze these characters and dissect them in a way that makes them a lot more interesting than what they're letting on. And then it's clear that there's a lot more to dive into with both Koharu and Go. Not to say Ash isn't interesting. It's just, I think we've been so used to Ash that this feels like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned, it's like the power of us, basically.
Yes. Actually, that's a perfect example. Yes. So kudos to whoever said that, because that is great. Yeah. Thank you, Donnie. That's actually a perfect example. It's like, what if they made the power of us into a series, basically?
Yeah, and I really like see this is sort of the thing as to why I appreciated a lot of the previous series we were in, because I felt like it did strike a balance of it, while unfortunately it did have a bit of flaws with the comedy aspect that I know a lot of people might have not enjoyed. I think the reason why I accepted Sun and Moon a lot was because it tried it was basically the beta of what PM 2019 is trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think PM 2019 built upon what it has established, and it did well. This is such an amazing series, man, for crafting, things like this. And it worked. I love seeing these characters. I want to know when we're going to see them next. I want to know if even these three Mankeys here, I hope they're recurring too. Because they live in the park, so why the hell would they not, right?
Yeah.
So it's elements like this. I love that we can find a perfect balance, man. You can go from raid battles to standard regular stadium battles to capture episodes to slice of life to just simply being in the lab. And, it feels like they're always switching things around to where every episode will not feel like the previous one, except for when we go to those arcs that, have to follow with the previous one. That's what I'm loving about the structure of this series. Everything's different, and different might not always be great, but for now, for me personally, I'm really been enjoying every episode so far.
That's good.
And I'm glad, because it's like many people fear, like, what can you do after what we've just accomplished with the finale of the last series? What can be added now upon it?
Yeah, this is definitely a different take.
Exactly. So it's like, what can you build upon that? And it's not building it's not creating something new. It's literally adding what they've already established and going the extra mile this time around. Because, like, look at this scene here. Ash, having fun with karaoke with the spoon bit. It's little things like that don't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but it adds so much to these characters. It adds so much to their dynamic. It adds so much to just the fun that you can get from this show. And I think that's the best way to describe the series. It's fun. And it should be that way, and I'm just glad I can see that with this series. And I guess I'm also probably just also getting happy at the fact that Ash is finally starting to use a phone. So who knows the opportunities that phone might have just opened up for future stuff in the, in the not too distant future. Like, could he actually call, his pals from long ago? I mean, why wouldn't he? He might have their number, or he might just call the gym up or something like that, depending on who's he calling, etc. So I don't know. I'm just really open to what PM 2019 has in store. After the Leon episode and everything that has happened since then, I've just really been appreciating a lot more of this series. And I really do think they strike a very well balance on the Pokemon, the characters, the setting, and the story. And that's something you always want to see from a show. It's not going to be for everyone. I know that, but to me, it's a win for me. And that's all I got to say on that. I just love PM 2019, man. It's so fun to watch.
It's definitely an interesting take.
Yeah, it's like, yes, it's not what people had hoped they would be, but of course we're still early on in the series, so anything can go moving forward, man. It's only early on, so let's see where things go from now. So
yeah,
I guess with that being said, is there anything else you guys want to add upon this, and or should we call it a wrap?
I just hope. Wait a minute. There's one more thing we have to. But wait, there's one more thing that we have to talk about.
Oh, are you talking about the Raichu?
What?
Yeah, didn't you know Ash's Pikachu's gonna evolve into a Raichu?
Oh, shut up!
Fuck you, KG.
I'm sorry.
Next, so next week, we're gonna get Gengar back.
Yeah.
But I think, unfortunately, as we touched on at the beginning of the program, is that certain outlets have leaked new main series artwork, and that is our boy Score Bunny is going to evolve into a reboot.
Already? He only knows Quick Attack and Double Kick.
I know, but There's
I
gonna
don't
be
even think he learned a fire move.
well, technically,
His
yeah.
feet
I
are
guess
fire moves.
his feet got
Yeah.
some fire. His feet
Oh.
catch fire. So I'm guessing. Well, considering that, I would think it will probably evolve in 2 weeks, because there was a summary that came out.
Oh, was it about the Score Bunny just like learning something new or something like that?
Getting a lot of experience.
Yeah. Which I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, last week he got flicked by the giant ass Titan Pokemon and slammed into the wall. I don't know if that's experience.
Every time he gets hit now, I just
Wham!
I want a compilation of Score Bunny getting hit with a bunch of experience points showing up.
Leveled up.
Yeah, it's the Pokedex. It's the Pokedex voice. Great, excellent, level up.
No, but remember the capture gets experience. So.
Oh, shit,
yeah.
You're
Oh
right.
wow. So I guess Go is
Go is Let's Go. Shit. Did you guys catch the fact that Go's parents' hairstyle looked like the Sword and Shield game's protagonist? Hold on a second.
I did not. I'll have to look back at him.
Swordsbird and Shieldbird? I don't think so.
Hold on,
I'll have to look back at him.
Oh shit! I'm noticing.
Oh, you mean no, protagonist, not antagonist.
No, the protagonist. Yeah, it has like the same color scheme.
Yeah, so
if you look at the Go's mother, yeah, it does look like it.
Yeah, I'm saying I have to get a good look at him.
Okay, let me go ahead and post a picture here for you so you maybe can see it for yourself. If I can actually get one. No, I don't have it. Apparently, I have the fodder, but he's like to the side, so it doesn't work. Oh, well. Man, it's going to develop an S&M fetish. What?
Oh, my goodness.
God, help us all, man.
In the episode.
All right. I might do that, Tyrone. Somebody said in regards to what you talked about, though.
Yeah,
so.
they might make the compilation. I want to see it.
Score Bunny's trying to get some EXP points. Well,
yeah, put the 1-up theme. Like when Mario gets a 1-up mushroom.
Just a little 1-up noise just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened. Let's see. Score Bunny got eaten by Snorlax. Got flicked by the Titan Golurk.
Snorlax ate a bunch of rare candies. That's why.
Yeah, probably. What else was there that happened to him? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Didn't he also get hit by the Dynamax Pokemon too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
But yeah, so somebody says again the reboot leak is BS. It was a Nico. Somebody told me. So I mean, I don't know what could go down, but I would not mind. I'm very surprised that they're doing it so early on, but I think it could be pulled off if done correctly. It's kind of weird that it's happening, but for Ghost character, I think it makes the most sense because he's not really fighting anyway at the end of the day. So is it really gonna hurt anything in the grand scheme of things?
No.
Exactly. So, with that being said, folks, we want to thank
that means that means they're gonna be making reboot plushes now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm glad that at least the middle starter is getting some love very early on too. So that's always good to know. Let's just hope we don't see Lanky Kong and whatever the second middle evolution is supposed to be for freaking Sobble. Let's just see Sobble evolve straight into Inteleon. Yeah.
Drizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the leak where Ash Greninja covered Go and they placed Serena on it? That's the greatest leak right there. I'm surprised they're bringing them back so early on, man. It's like, geez, I thought Reboot was crazy, but nah, we're getting Ash Greninja, boys. I mean, listen, we are getting Ash Greninja comeback. I mean, after that ridiculous poll in regards to... I'm being reasonable here. You got to remember... The poll came out. Greninja, the Jobber Frog, everyone's favorite worst frog Pokemon, Charizard 2, basically, won the poll as being everyone's favorite Pokemon. You know, at this point in my head, I just came to the conclusion that everybody just felt so bad for the Pokemon that they decided to just at least give him a win somewhere, because he was the joke on Smash Brothers for Smash Wii U and 3DS, because every time that a patch would come out, everybody would be, better nerf Greninja. Then there's, of course, the anime where Greninja was doing great as well and then got jobbed at the end and didn't deserve that finale. He also didn't deserve that release as well. Let's be realistic there, too. That was a shit. Then, of course, there's the game. I mean, he's always been good in the game, though, so I guess there's no problem with that one.
I mean, I'm saying I'm actually really surprised that
Yes.
one of the few anime to be in a video game.
Yeah, so basically, I at this point, like I mentioned, I just feel like everybody just had pity points and decided to give it to Greninja. That's why he won.
That's because it's
He'll beat Charizard in something, damn it.
Yeah, how like, I just never thought I'd see the day where Charizard would be beaten by another reptilian.
Well, that's because Charizard's been freaking
reptilian,
drawn
sorry.
out. He's been worn out at this. They used him for so much stuff.
Yet despite this, he got 4th place out of 800 plus Pokemon, man.
Right.
How did you think about the top 10 list?
It's okay.
Nah.
All the expected ones. This was left to the general public, so I really don't like big like countdown lists of Pokemon when it comes to multiple people. I would rather watch a video of like an individual person's top 5s. Because then you could just see personally why they like that Pokemon versus a bunch of people choosing at once. Because, yeah, obviously a large bit of that was probably kids or adults that grew up in Gen 1 or some people that just thought this Pokemon looked aesthetically cool. It's never really based on any, like, concrete personal experience.
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, right. Smash Brothers. Like, it's not really based on anything personal. So I would much rather watch some individual video. Somebody is like, I like Absol because long time ago as a kid I saw it on a movie and it was during my birthday party and I felt so good, and so now I remember that day every day when Absol shows up. Just something. Just
I
something.
thought that was real.
No. I made that whole situation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just something to like help, me understand what other people's perspective are, because Pokemon is supposed to be something where there's so many Pokemon, so there's bound to be somebody to like at least. There's a Pokemon for pretty much everybody, even a Pokemon that aesthetically everybody hates. I'm sure there's a Trubbish fan out there. I'm sure I hate Binacle.
NBC.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Binacle fan out there. Bear. Yeah. Like, I'm sure the mons that we all take for granted, sometimes there's someone who loves it. There's someone who collects toys of it, plushies of it, just loves playing it in the video game, runs it on all their teams. I'm sure that exists, and that's why I don't really, like, pay attention to the huge, like, Pokemon of the Year list. I'll look at it. I'll go, that's nice.
Well, on the bright side, though, then they made 7th place.
Yeah, baby.
The Kalos side.
Yeah.
So let that be a lesson, guys. Yes, he doesn't care, but he does care at the same time.
I love Daydene, but that's because he was a big stepping stone for me and my channel, and he helped me. But I didn't know he had such a following, man.
Dude, Daydene is loved, man.
I didn't know my boy was going in.
So yeah,
I mean, hell, he's DLC for fuck's sake.
Oh man, he's so good. They had to make sure he came in as DLC.
Right, they had to bring him in. They got me for a second. He was cutting the game, but then they were saving him. They were saving him just so that they can get him back. It was all a part of their plan.
What ranking did Dane took?
What?
7 then Kalos.
No.
Yeah, Daydene Gen 6.
No. What's the ranking for the Dane?
Oh, just in total? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. We only got to see the top 30.
I just saw that he was like KG said, 7th in Kalos.
But given that he's in 7th place, I would not be surprised. I would say he's in the top 50 or top 100.
Right. He has to be in the top somewhere.
Okay, that's what I want to know. So he made it to 7th place.
Yes, in the Kalos.
Yeah, in Kalos, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and my boy Zoroark and Zorua got into some top scores too. I mean, Zoroark was, I think, in the top 25 of overall all Pokemon. And Mazurua too was also pretty high up too. So I love that people also love the cute little fox as much as I do. So that put a little cute little dent in my heart, man. Snom is actually top 30. Would you believe that?
That's too
the console made their way to the top 30. So they actually did decide our fate.
that's too low as far as I'm concerned.
I know, man. Snom is on it. But to be fair, Snom is a recently new Pokemon. And given that, this poll had Pokemon trainers vote for Pokemon that might have not even been fans of current generations, to have Snom to be at top 30, though, that's a blessing there. So congratulations to Snom. You did wonders. And I guess we're going to wrap things up then for today. What do you say, guys?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, then. So thank you guys once again for being with us here tonight. We hope you guys had a fun time. I think we managed to do a lot of things for this stream for tonight.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we've got a chance to talk about the anime, the movie, manga recommendations. Please, seriously, give the manga I talked about, as well as the one that Evie brought up a while back, an opportunity to read through, because honestly, they are really great. And I would love to see more people try to give a shot. I always do these things because I want more people to kind of open up, their doors and kind of discover new things that they might like. You never know.
Right. And
Yeah.
speaking of anime, we'll see if we can finally, now that I have my test out of the way, I finally had some more breathing room to, probably, do a anime pod by the end of the
Nice.
week.
We need to get back into that too, buddy. I need to talk
Yeah.
about the science anime and whatnot.
There's that, and of course the other Reddit shenanigans that happened the past few weeks. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we got to review those boys reviewing that the brothels and whatnot.
Yeah,
Oh good God.
I haven't caught up with the anime because of these tests, by the way. But yeah, I still need to catch up with my boys with the brothels.
Oh, don't worry, man. I'm gonna
exciting.
just tell you right now. Good quality shit right there. So please watch that.
And remember, folks, that this weekend for folks in North America, we're springing forward 1 hour.
Oh shit.
Well, time to go to sleep.
What?
Good night, everybody. So we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, have yourself an awesome day. Well, I don't know when the hour thing is gonna happen, but hopefully not today.
Saturday night.
Oh, thank God.
Saturday night until Sunday morning.
Oh, thank the God.
That's fucked up.
That is amazing. Okay, not at work. Good.
Interesting from Equal Matrix. The science anime actually got a dub. And
Really?
It's pretty good, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to give it a watch. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna wear out
Saturday night. All right, fine. And also, remember, folks, that also there's going to be another kind of a manga preview. I'm getting the final volume of the Pocket Monsters comedy manga Wednesday.
Nice.
And I guess we'll hear a review on that. Also, I was gonna say that as well.
Wash your fucking hands.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hello, my honey. Goodbye, for baby.
Wash your fucking hands.
My Corona.